Welcome to our Azura blog series. My name is Anna Banda, and I'm with Azura Consulting here in Dallas, Texas. We have a Women in Science blog series where we invite female scientists to come talk about their experiences. And today we have Dr. Jessica Watkins, who is our seventh interview for this series. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. So first, if you just want to kind of tell us all about you and your job title, some of the highlights of what that entails.
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Jessica Watkins, and I am a NASA astronaut. I recently flew to the International Space Station, spent 6 months on board with my crewmates. I'm part of NASA's SpaceX Crew 4 mission as a mission specialist. And we flew up on a Dragon Freedom, and went up to the International Space Station where we lived and worked for 6 months, largely working on science and as well as helping to maintain the station.
Wonderful. That's so exciting. So when did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah, and so from a pretty young age, I first voiced that I wanted to be an astronaut. I think as soon as I learned that that was a real thing that you could do, something you could go to space for your career, I was definitely excited by that idea. So I was pretty young. I think about 9 when I first voiced interest. And really have just been lucky to be able to follow a path that led me here. It certainly had twists and turns along the way, and certainly did not end up looking like the path that I thought it would, honestly did not have the ending that I expected, which is being able to sit in this seat and do the mission that we just completed.
Wonderful. Yeah, I know life always has a way of throwing us curveballs and changing our
Absolutely.
path. Um, so Jessica, how do you maintain a work-life balance? Or do you struggle like the rest of us?
Yeah, so we're certainly human, and it is. I think work-life balance is definitely something that we have to be intentional about, just like anybody else. I think for us and for our careers, it really ends up kind of ebbing and flowing. There are times where there's a bit more of a surge, and so that balance tips more towards one side. But I think overall, in this job, in this role, that we are able to maintain somewhat of a balance, at least over time. Not necessarily at any given one snapshot in time, particularly, in for example, in preparation for and during a mission. Those are definitely times where things are pretty busy, and prioritizing family is definitely a bit more of an effort. But then when we return, so now in this kind of post-flight time period, we're able to more heavily balance our family, and being able to prioritize that, kind of get back up to speed with everything that's happening here on the ground. And so again, I think over that time period, it really ends up balancing out. But we're really lucky that here at NASA, that work-life balance and family is a priority, and there's an understanding that really is what enables us to be successful. Having those support systems in place, that self and kind of team care that comes with that work-life balance piece of it, is really what allows us to be able to do the other aspects of our job. And so and we're really lucky to work in a place that really understands that, and works together with us to try to strive towards that balance.
Yeah, very, very important to have a company that supports you. Um, so what's one thing you wish you had known when you first started working, just right out of college? Just one good thing you'd like to share to help other people in the same situation.
Yeah, I think for me, really kind of in college throughout that process, and then starting to work after college. Um, I think what I kind of discovered through the process, but would have been easier to know from the beginning, is that there is really, particularly for this role, there is no one pathway of getting here. I think I had an idea in my mind of what exactly those steps were to get to this place. But ultimately, what ended up being more important, and I think is most important for anybody, trying to set goals and achieve them, is really to find what you're passionate about, and then to pursue that. And in that pursuit, I think is where the success actually lies. And it is in that process of doing something that you love, that you're really able to excel in the first place, as well as, of course, enjoy it along the way. And so I think understanding that process and that piece of it is really, I think, what enables success in your job, both in the traditional sense of achieving the dream, but also in the sense of really achieving that fulfillment and enjoyment in your passion.
Completely agree. So what's a challenge that you had to overcome, either in work or your personal life?
Yeah, I think for me that the challenge is, some of the challenge was tied up in kind of what I was just talking about, and really understanding that that I did not have to kind of follow a direct path to get to where I wanted to go. I started out going into college as a mechanical engineer, largely because I, again, thought that that's kind of what I had to do in order to keep the door open for this job, in order to be an astronaut. And so I went to college and started to pursue that, but really found that I didn't enjoy it. It was really just was not what I was passionate about, and even wasn't particularly that great at. It's not where my skill set was. And so that process of kind of understanding, okay, do I continue to pursue this path that I think will lead me to where I want to go, and I think is the only way to get there, or do I find something that I really enjoy and kind of hope for the best? And it was kind of at that crossroads of choosing a path of passion that really unlocked the door for me to be able to pursue my dreams in a way that I definitely had never expected. So really, to answer your question, is really about kind of getting out of your own way, and just allowing yourself to really dive in to what you're passionate about, and not feel tied to expectations that are put on you externally.
Um, so what's one of your more favorite memories of your career? I mean, I would think going to space is probably the top one.
Yes, I definitely, going to space is pretty high up there, is a little bit tough to beat, and is, of course, the most recent as well. And that was just an amazing experience that I'm so lucky and grateful to have had the opportunity to experience. The other thing that comes to mind, though, is getting to work on the Curiosity rover, the Mars rover, that's exploring Gale Crater. Being able to be a part of that team, working, scientists and engineers working hand in hand every day to really make decisions about where the rover was going to explore next, what instrumentation we were going to use there, and then receiving that data down from the rover the next day and being able to interpret it and start to make scientific discoveries. So just that process of this kind of daily, working together to accomplish what is really just truly remarkable, controlling a robotic device on the surface of another planet in order to understand the geology of the surface, is just, that was pretty amazing as well. So I've been lucky to have lots of amazing experiences in my scientific career, that's for sure.
I love hearing about that. Um, have you ever experienced any gender-related challenges when it comes to your career?
I think that the biggest challenge for me, in terms of the gender piece of it, as well as the race piece, I think is has really fallen in the bucket of mentors, and really I've had the pleasure of having many amazing mentors, but really having role models that are in positions that I strive to be in, and contributing in ways that aspire to contribute. I think we just have a more limited pool of people that look like us or have our experiences and background, being women, and then for people of color as well. And so I think that for me is kind of where a lot of that limitation is almost a just a kind of perception limitation, almost more than anything, of understanding where is that ceiling for me, what am I really capable of, and what can I do, and then of course how do I get there as well, and having those examples of those pathways, of how to get there. And I certainly had those, and I'm grateful for those that I did have, but I think there certainly is a limitation there, that hopefully we can make progress on expanding.
Yes, that's one reason we started the blog, so that we could, you know, bring these issues out in the open and, get more transparency on it. So thank you for sharing that. So we have one final question. What advice would you give women, especially young girls that wish to pursue careers similar to yours, or one in the sciences in general?
Yeah, the advice I would definitely give, based on my experience, is to dream big. I think it's tied to what we were just talking about, but not to feel limited by expectations or possibilities, but really to find something that you're passionate about, pursue that, and to continue to pursue that relentlessly. Don't take no for an answer, and just believe that you really can achieve what you set out to, because you definitely can.
Great, great advice. Well, um, that is all the questions I have. Did you have anything you'd like to add, or something you wanted to share before we conclude?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm super grateful for your time and what you're doing. I think it is super important, as you said, to just the exposure piece, and being able to expose people to all the different possibilities, all the different pathways, ways that women in STEM can contribute. So we're super excited about the future. Super excited to see what we all accomplish together.
Me too.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you carving out the time to chat with us today, and spread your knowledge and your advice and your experiences. So, Jessica, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.